There we go. I forgot to press record. So now we're recording. So I placed this where I resized it, and I want to use this as my background, which is called a clipping mask. So to do that, I need to place this at the top so it actually hides the text.
How do I change the size? When I try to change the size, it just moves it.
So if you don't have the resize handles here automatically, on the move tool, you'll want to check the box that says show transform controls. So without it, you can't really adjust it. So with that enabled, you have the ability to change the dimensions.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
All right, so we have it in the right place, and in the layers panel, you want to have it on the top. So above the text, and it's actually hiding the text right now. And then we're going to right click it and choose create clipping mask. So when we do that, it actually replaces the color of the text with the actual image. So it's using the text outline and creating a clipping mask for the circuit board. It's a very cool effect in the text to be able to replace it with that. And then to make the effect a little bit more dramatic, we're going to add a shadow on the text layer. So you go ahead and select the text layer, and we're going to add a layer effect. So at the bottom of the layers panel, you're clicking on the FX button.
Wait, how did you do the thing? The thing when you put the letters?
So you want the circuit board image on top of the text layer in the layers panel. So it's actually hiding the text. So I just moved it from here to the top. You want it above the text layer. And then you're going to right click the image layer and choose create clipping mask. Now we're going to add an effect to the text layer.
It doesn't give you an option for create clipping mask.
On the circuit board.
Oh wait, I found it.
So select the text layer and then click on the FX button. We're going to add a inner shadow. So it actually makes it look like the circuit board image is behind the paper. So if this was a magazine, it gives it a kind of a 3D effect.
Okay, how did you make the like the circuit board become the color of the words?
Okay, so that's the clipping mask. The circuit board image should be on top in the order of layers, so digital should be underneath it. I'll release the clipping mask.
That, and now all I can see is the circuit board.
Yeah, that's right. It should be hiding the text. Then you apply.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, you got it. Good. So we did an inner shadow effect to the text layer.
Wait, where did you find the inner shadow?
At the bottom of the layers panel, right next to the mask button, there's the effects button. It's really the layer styles button, but it's labeled FX. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to click that and choose inner shadow. and it gives it this three-dimensional effect. You can play around with the distance, which would increase the, I guess, imaginary space between the image and the circuit board. So you could increase or decrease that to whatever you think looks good. Size just kind of lets the shadow fade out a little bit. So I'm just going to press OK. So a nice effect going on there. So that's the basics of text in a single line. So a single line of text, that's basically what you can edit. You can edit the size, you can edit the style, the font style. You can edit the tracking, which is the space between characters, the height and the width scale, and change the color and the different variations of text like italics, bold, and things like that. So the next thing we're going to cover is creating a paragraph of text. So there's multiple lines of text. So we're going to use the horizontal text tool again. Instead of just clicking to start placing a text, we're going to draw a box. So you're going to click in a corner and drag away to create a text box. And my font is rather large to be able to type paragraphs. So the first thing I'm going to do is reduce the size. Let's see if I can do this before I type something. Yeah. 36 point looks like a pretty good size. So let's just say I'm typing some stuff in here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. So if you did what I did, it inserted the text right below the previous, what do you call that? Clipping mask. So I want to drag this to the top and release that. Why is it still there? There we go. I just had to move it out of the way of the clipping mask for it to show up. So I have a line of text here, and you can see the spacing between lines is pretty large. So if I want to reduce that, that is the setting that is to the right of the font size. It's the leading value. So that's the space between paragraphs. You can either increase or decrease that. So now that I know what my leading is, I can type something that's more meaningful. So let's say cover.
So I must have accidentally pushed a button because I went into full screen mode and I can't get out of full screen mode.
Quick escape.
I pushed that, but it's not working. Oh, never mind, I fixed it. Apparently I pushed F.
The F key, yes. So I'm just writing a few lines of text here, just similar to anything that you would use like Google Slides or anything that you're creating text within a text box. So I'm just typing some random stuff. So the difference between single line text and paragraph text is you have different options related to the paragraph. So when I select my text, I can center the text, which it is right now, or I can align the text to the left or to the right. And then there's some adjustments. You can indent from the right margin, indent from the left margin, indent first line if you have a lot of lines of text, and space before or after paragraph, which are similar to things you would find in Word to just make your document look the way you want it to. So those are the basics of creating paragraphs worth of text. Now I can change single characters by highlighting them. So let's say I wanted to change the color of every other row of text. So I can select whatever I want to change and change the color to a different color. Let's say I want this to be red. And you can change the size as well. So let's say I want this to be smaller. So each individual character is customizable. You could change it to be a different font style, or each character could be a different feature. Let's offset this one. So you can change the setting of each individual character, each word, however you want to. You have a lot of control over the way you want it to look. So you just have to highlight whatever text you want to change and make your adjustments. So that's the basics of what I wanted to cover today. And the application of this, I'd like you to practice using text. And the way we're going to practice is by everyone's going to do the same project, but you have the freedom to, let's see, I'm trying to go to a view that I could see everybody. There we go. All right, so I put the assignment in the classroom just with a title. I would like us all to make a get well card for Joseph, who is the student who was life flighted to Riley yesterday after experiencing some pretty significant symptoms. They discovered he has a tumor in his brain. So he's immediately going into emergency surgery, which he'll be going through today, but he'll have to be in the hospital for an extended stay, multiple weeks probably. So just as part of our Clinton family, I thought it'd be cool if we used the skills that we've learned so far to create a get well kind of a postcard for him. So you can use whatever you'd like to, just find a nice image that you want to use. You can use multiple images. You can change things using adjustment layers just to make it look kind of fancy however you want to. And then also adding text, which is the thing that we learned today. So I'm going to share my screen again. So to get started, I'd like you to start a new document. And I don't know if we'll print these off and actually physically hand them to him, or just send them to his mom and have him look at them digitally. But I'd like to have it be a standard picture size, just in case we're able to print them off and send them. So in this, you can go to the custom settings and switch to photo. And in here is some very common sizes. So you want to choose, if you want to have a landscape, which would be wider than it is tall. Landscape is more wide. Then portrait is taller than it is wide. But we're going to use the 5 by 7 measurement. So it's going to be a 5" by 7" postcard size. So choose if you want it to be a wide shot or a portrait view, and choose the 5 by 7. The standard resolution, we're going to leave the same, should be set to 300 pixels. And then just click OK. You can name it already if you want to. Just put Gitwell Joseph. Joseph's name is spelled Joseph, the standard spelling of Joseph. And here you have your canvas, so you can start creating whatever you'd like to. Just think of encouraging things. It could just be a personal statement, or it could be a Bible verse, or a combination of images and text. But I do want you to use what you've learned today to create text on your project. If you can remember how to do the clipping mask to replace the text with an image, that would be a bonus. So you could try to remember how to do that. Any questions before I let you go to get started on your projects? Just something inspirational. Think of what you might want to see or receive if you were in the hospital suddenly. Just some encouraging words. And make sure your name is somewhere on it, just saying, you know, from Stephen or from Jedrick, whatever. Add your name on there just to personalize it. Any questions?
What size did you put your test? Like, size?
5 by 7.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you guys go. Get creative, be inspired. I'll stay on here if you have any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.